Welcome to this video. Today we're taking an historic look into a corner of Merseyrail rail network that, at first glance, might seem just like another busy commuter station. But beneath the surface lies a rich tapestry of hidden railway history. We're talking about Merseyrail's Birkenhead Central station. Today, Birkenhead Central serves as a vital link in the Merseyrail network, whisking passengers under the Mersey to Liverpool and out to Chester and Ellesmere Port. But this station, first opened with the line in 1886 by the pioneering Mersey Railway, has a lot of history. This history is intertwined with some of the earliest and most ambitious railway projects in the country. It's a place where grand visions met economic realities. Did you know that twice in its history it came close to being a junction station? Or it is where steam gave way to electric, and nearby computing networks disappeared, leaving only echoes. Even today, you can see the Victorian grandeur. Birkenhead Central was built by the Mersey Railway Company, an engineering marvel that dared to tunnel beneath the mighty River Mersey. Long before the two busy road tunnels, late 19th century technology bored a path under a major tidal river. When it opened, connecting Birkenhead to Liverpool, it revolutionised travel and trade. It wasn't just a station, it was also the headquarters of the Mersey Railway Company, who had their main offices here. This was the headquarters of the company right up to nationalisation in 1948. The booking office itself is rather modest. To be found here is a plaque to shunter Norman Tunner, erected in 2010 to commemorate his bravery in tackling a fire in a wagon containing high explosives during the Second World War. The ornate platform bridge and station awnings provide shelter for waiting passengers. High up at the green end lane of the station, we see Mollington Street Bridge. Now closed to the public, this was an ideal site to photograph and observe the station. A lower bridge gave access to all the sheds, more on them shortly. But the story of Birkenhead Central isn't just about the Mersey Railway itself. It was the heart of a much larger, complex transport ecosystem. Near here, lines fanned out connecting the docks, industrial areas and the burgeoning towns of the Wirral on the main line from Woodside Station and the docks. The Mersey Railway itself later extended further south to Rock Ferry, allowing cross-platform connections through to destinations like Chester. The station was always busy for those conducting business, working at the docks, or simply commuting. During the Birkenhead Tramway's electric era, passengers could connect with the Mersey lines at Birkenhead Central. Indeed, an indicator at the station would let Mersey drivers know if a tram had arrived outside, and they could delay departure for connecting passengers. A good example of integration. But nearby, Birkenhead Central had a rival, Birkenhead Town Station. This station was on the main line out of Woodside. Its proximity would be its biggest problem. The far more useful Birkenhead Central, offering direct trains to the centre of Liverpool, was always going to win out. Birkenhead Town closing by 1945, as well as being the Mersey Railway headquarters, to be found alongside Birkenhead Central was the line's sheds, both for carriages and for the locos. Though now all disused, the locomotive shed was an important depot, particularly for the Mersey Railway's distinctive tank engines. These engines, designed for the challenging gradients and damp environment of the tunnel, called this shed home. It was a place of constant activity, engines being coaled, watered, maintained, and prepared for the arduous journeys under the Mersey. It was the beating heart behind the operational railway. The locos, built by Bayer Peacock and some by Kitson, were powerful designs, many named after those involved with the railway, such as the Major, referring to Major Samuel Isaac, a significant financer, or Cecil Raikes, a local MP, who backed the building of the line. Incidentally, both of these particular locomotives are preserved, the Major in Australia, and Cecil Raikes by the Museum of Liverpool, though not currently on display. After the steam days had ended, the carriage shed became home to the electric trains, though some steam locos did continue for engineering duties, such as Merseyrail No. 2. The first electric trains were the 1903 American-style Westinghouse units, joined later by additional stock built by Cravens in 1923 and Gloucester Railway Carriage and Wagon in 1936 to enlarge train lengths. The design of these additional coaches didn't match the 1903 trains and led to a mismatched, ramshackle look for the railway. After the withdrawal of the 1903 stock in 1956, the shed would see the LMS design Class 503 units take residence, and later still the 507 and 508 units. The shed would finally close in 1997. Today it's just a slowly decaying relic of our local history. It's a shame the shed couldn't have been repurposed. It would have made a good home for the Mersey loco Cecil Riggs and the surviving Class 503 coach. Perhaps joined with the Class 502 and the recently preserved Class 507, it could have been the basis of a museum for our sadly neglected railway heritage. Looking towards the site of the loco shed, we see where one of the demolished sheds used to be, with severed ironwork on the retaining wall. To control movements on and off the sheds, and the main through lines, there was Birkenhead Central signal box, access from the Liverpool-bound platform towards the Rock Ferry end. This signal box, originally using the Sykes lock and block system, with colour light signalling coming as early as 1924. This box was sadly closed and demolished after the re-signalling of Merseyrail in 1994. But back to sheds. Birkenhead had an even larger and more historically significant locomotive shed nearby, Mollington Street shed. Mollington Street, located a little further east, was a colossal depot, built jointly by the London North Western Railway and Great Western Railway for their joint line from Birkenhead to Chester. It was home to an incredible array of locomotives, from GWR expresses to powerful freight engines. Imagine the roar, the steam, the smell of coal and oil. This shed was essential for servicing the long-distance routes that terminated or originated in Birkenhead, connecting it to the wider network. While Birkenhead Central shed served the intensive Mersey railway traffic, Mollington Street was the powerhouse for the broader network. Both were crucial to the railway's success in the area. After steam ended on BR, the shed became a diesel depot. With Birkenhead Woodside's closure in 1967, its locos would continue to serve the Birkenhead docks. Though the shed's decline mirrored that of the dock traffic. Towards the end, withdrawn Class 503s were often stored there, as they were replaced by the 508s. The depot finally closed in 1985. As mentioned earlier, Birkenhead Central almost became a junction station. Railways are full of fascinating might-have-beens, and Birkenhead Central is no exception. One of the most intriguing unbuilt lines in the area was the proposed line through Prenton, Helswell and Upton. Proposed by the Wirral Railway, the junction would have been on the right as you head in the Rock Ferry direction. Indeed, provision was made for this, hence the large open space before the trains enter Hinderton Tunnel. Looking towards Green Lane, we can see where it would have branched off. The line winding its way southwest through Prenton, with stations at Borough Road and Holme Lane. It would then have continued to the picturesque Wirral town of Helswell, or through to Upton. This proposed triangular junction would have allowed a Wirral loop line via Bidston. This wasn't just a pipe dream, there were serious proposals and even parliamentary acts associated with it. Old maps show glimpses of where this line would have gone. Indeed, certain parts were left undeveloped for decades. The parcels of land still under railway company ownership for many years. The idea of this line was to open up the developing suburban areas of Wirral, providing direct rail access through to Helswell and the surrounding potentially residential areas. It would have offered new commuting options and potentially stimulated further development. So, why didn't it happen at the time? Like many railway schemes, it fell victim to a combination of factors, mainly financial difficulties which halted many civilian projects, and changing transport priorities. In the 1960s, we saw the rise of the motor car, and with it increasing congestion. This brought about a possible revival for the Prenton line. As part of the proposals to maximise the potential of the Merseyrail Underground, the line was included in future expansion plans. This time it was conceived as a more direct route to Heswall, with stations at Birkenhead South and Prenton Dell. It wasn't to be in the first phase plans, but was to be added by the mid-1980s. The economic downturn Merseyside suffered in the 80s would see these plans fail yet again. Today, the nearest equivalent bus route takes about 40 minutes, and the train, with a change at Bidston, nearly an hour. So spare a thought for the railway that was almost built. A phantom line that would have changed the landscape and the way people lived and travelled. By the mid-20th century, the steam engines and the vast sheds eventually faded away. Birkenhead Central saw a new era of modernisation. Always innovative, the Mersey Railway was an early adopter of electric traction. The distinctive Mersey electrics became a familiar sight, offering a cleaner, faster service. Today, Merseyrail continues to serve the region, a testament to the enduring vision of those Victorian engineers. The station itself has changed and adapted, but the original structure, the spirit of connectivity, still remains. Birkenhead Central isn't just a point on a map. It represents the ambition, ingenuity, and sometimes dashed hopes of a bygone railway age. From the massive locomotive sheds that powered the network to the lost lines that almost were, this area tells a compelling story. Next time you're passing through, take a moment to look around and listen. You might just hear the echoes of a steam whistle, or the ghostly rumble of a train that never quite arrived. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Birkenhead's railway past. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments of your memories of the station and the railways of Birkenhead. Thank you for watching.